So, hello guys, welcome back to my live. How are you guys today? Welcome on today's live. I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial. So, stick with me and you will see how I do and achieve a flawless makeup look. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenna and I am a makeup artist. On my live, I do makeup tutorials, and then on the weekends, I do a trivia. So, welcome to my family. All right, guys. So today I'm gonna start as usual by prepping my face. To do that, I'm using my moisturizer, and I'm just gonna be placing it on my skin. So I like to have my lips moisturized, and to do this, you can use a moisturizing balm or a lip gloss. And don't worry, you can totally take it off when you're ready to do your lipstick. So with that said, we're gonna let this sit and dry for a bit. Dry, dry, dry. And now I'm going to be using a primer. So this is like an easy prep that I do whenever I'm in a hurry. Maybe I have to go somewhere and I'm in a hurry. This is very easy. It's a two-step prep. You have to use a moisturizer to get your skin well moisturized, properly hydrated, and then you use a primer to get your skin your pores set, your skin set to receive all that makeup. Is going to help your makeup to last. So if you notice that your makeup tends to fall out, hi popping balloon, how are you? You may need a primer. So depending on your skin type, you can use a mattifying primer or a hydrating primer. I like to use a hydrating primer, and this one is from Sephora, is the Milk Hydro. The brand is Milk and the product is the Hydro Grip. Hydro Grip Primer is like a jelly primer. It does look like jelly, so I need a little bit. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh my, I lost my aunt on earlier in the week, so I guess it's a tough week for us. But I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. I definitely understand how you feel. What a tough week, eh? January just began. It's already been a lot. But hey, we thank God for life. So I like to use the primer. So was your friend sick or what happened? What happened to your friend? Were they sick? Hi Jania, how are you? Welcome to my live. Welcome. Oh really? Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah. Life is a lot. Oh, you haven't. Thank you, Colleen. Hi, welcome to my live. Jania, you haven't missed much. I haven't been here since Monday, so it's been a very, very tough week for me, but I'm here. I'm here today. So I've done the two-step prep, which was using a moisturizer. This one is from the e.l.f. Holy Hydration set. And then I used my primer afterward. I know, I know. I had a big loss this week, so I had to move on. Life goes on, yeah? It does go on. So I'm just going to let this dry. Guys, I have a fan. Today's live is makeup tutorial, and I'm going to be telling you guys about me. So get ready, guys, because you can also put questions and ask me things in the chat box. Wow, in the chat box, and I will answer. Hi, Thomas. How are you? So, okay. The first thing I'm going to be answering, guys, so I'm going to be doing the makeup, so you have to watch and pay attention so that you understand. But then I'm going to be giving you details about me. Okay, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to be answering is I know Mike is in here. The first thing I'm going to be answering is, what is my favorite comfort food? Guys, to be honest, I love biscuits. I know it's not food technically, it's like a snack, but I love biscuits, cookies, crackers, um, chocolate cookies. I love shortbread. I just love biscuits, cookies, all that great. Yeah, so that would be like a comfort food. Yeah, that's like a comfort food for me. So it's not technically a food, but that is what you will always see with me. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using this one from the Maybelline brand. This is in the shade 340 Cappuccino. And I'm just going to be putting some on the back of my hand, and then I'll be applying it. Really? Congratulations, Jania. That is good to know. Congratulations. Welcome into the Christianhood. Wow. Big congrats to you. That is nice. How did you celebrate? Did you celebrate with family? Or was it just you? So I like to mix my foundation just because this one is still a little too bright for me. So I like to mix it with my V Beauty foundation. So I just took a little pump of that and mixed that in. Okay. So the next question I'm going to be answering is, am I a morning person or a night person? Guys, to answer this, I'm just going to say is almost midnight and I'm filming. So I'm definitely a night person. I'm not a morning person. In the mornings, it's like I'm being dragged through to do anything. But in the nights, I just kind of come alive. It's weird. So yeah, I am a night person. I am a night person. Hi, Rick. How are you? This spray is from e.l.f. Okay, next question I'm going to be answering. What small thing instantly puts me in a good mood? Guys, instantly small thing. I don't know, a funny video. I was, I don't know, is that a small thing? Yeah, but I could literally go from like a very sad mood to like my mood would just change immediately. So I guess a video that is funny. Any other thing? Let me see. Maybe doing something that I like for instance, maybe baking or doing a cake, maybe just getting the design or doing something that it may seem little, I don't know, but to me, getting the design the way I wanted it. Because trust me, sometimes when like you're baking, it doesn't turn out the way you hope it should. So little things like that just make me happy. Hi Linlet, how are you? Welcome to my live and welcome to my makeup class today. So as you can see, the mixture did help me to get a very close blend to my skin tone, as opposed to just using it like that. So feel free to blend and mix your foundations to get a close enough skin tone. So sometimes it may seem like the foundation is off if the shade or the undertone is a bit off. Maybe if you're using like a yellow tone and maybe like a cool tone, then it might seem like it is off. Thank you, Poppin. Thank you for dropping by. All right. So guys, like I said, you can ask me questions in the chat box or in the comments. Next thing, am I a coffee or a tea person? So honestly, I'm a tea person. When I first came to Canada, I loved having coffee because it really helped me like with weight, and also it made it made me more awake. But the problem with the coffee is that it makes me awake in the night. So I had to stop because That was like number one, the staying up in the night. And then number two was that it was making my teeth yellow. I had to stop. So I'm a tea person now. I'm definitely a tea person. By the way, I like to have my coffee black. I know some people will say that that is just absurd. I actually like black coffee. It's weird, but hey. So I'm definitely a tea person, and I love peppermint tea. I love peppermint tea. I don't know what. Anything minty really. I just really love lots of mint. So peppermint, my go-to. Next question. What hobby do I wish I was better at? Let's see. What hobby? What hobby? Okay, I like singing, so I wish I was better at singing. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. I wish I was so much better at singing. Um, do I recharge by being alone or around people? Honestly, I think for the most part, I recharge by being alone. I love my space, my alone time. However, there are moments that I like to have people around. You can feel like down, but when I have people around, I just light up, right? But it really depends, honestly. I would say it depends. But for the most part, I recharge by being alone. Could just be by doing something that I like. For instance, maybe watching a movie or reading a book. Just something different. But then it will require me being alone. So yeah, I recharge by being alone. All right. Next question, guys. What kind of plans do I like? Spontaneous or carefully planned? Definitely spontaneous. I'm actually someone that loves to do a lot of spontaneous things. So I, for the most part, a lot of things that I do, I plan them. But the ones that I really like are the spontaneous ones. The ones that I just up and go. So to a great extent, I'll say I'm pretty spontaneous. And I'm going to be using this Rare Beauty blush to apply my blush. I like to put it on the back of my hand, and I'm using a brush to help me with this. This brush is from the Real Techniques brand. You can find this in Walmart. It's a pack of 4 that comes with a beauty blender. So if you're looking for a good brush, try the Real Techniques or the Morphe set. All right, so next question. Next question. What is something I'm oddly picky about? Um, Something I'm oddly picky about, honestly, is clothes. Clothes. I'm very picky about the kind of clothes that I like. It has always been a thing for me since I was young. I'm very, very picky about what I wear. And sometimes to hairstyles. Yeah. Hi Cherie, welcome to my live. How are you? Sometimes to the style of hair that I do. I love to wear wigs, but for the most part, I think I really love being in my natural hair. Honestly, I have tons of wigs, but then for for the most part, I am always in my natural hair most of the year. So, thank you, Cherie. How are you? How have you been? Yes, guys, hit the like button and subscribe and share. So, Cherie, welcome. We're doing a makeup and get to know me. So, feel free to put a question in the chat box of something you would like to know. All right. Blush is done. I love this blush because it just melts into your skin. It's very minimal depending on how you apply it, but I love to go in with a beauty blender after using my blush just to help me really press it into my skin. As you can see, it looks like skin. It feels like skin too. All right. I'm gonna answer the next question. Um, am I logical or emotional when it comes to decisions? Personally, I think that I am logical, but I don't know. I have to ask my friends about that one. I have to ask my friends about that one. But I think I am logical for a lot of things that I do, and then sometimes emotional. Of course, I'm a woman. So, but I honestly think that I am very logical for some things, or most things, decision wise. I kind of think them a lot. So that is the logical aspect that I'm thinking about. I kind of think things a lot. So I think that's the logical aspect that I'm talking about. Okay, next question. Um, what does a perfect day look like to me? To be honest, a perfect day for me is like a day where I started by praying. And trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. There are days that I just up and go. And I just feel like something is just missing. But on the days that I pray, it feels like everything, no matter how that day went, it just feels like there is some peace and some calm. So for me, a perfect day is the day that I started by praying. Hi, Lily Cooper. So I got this NARS tester from Sephora. I want to test this out, so I'm going to try using it. It's a very interesting packaging because I'm wondering if there's going to be enough to do my highlights. Well, let's see. Let's see what this is going to look like. Guys, this is like the smallest amount of anything that I've used. This is what it looks like. Well, I should have known. It's literally a tester. Well, let's see. So you know what? I don't think I'm gonna have enough to use. So I'm gonna start with my Maybelline and then I'm gonna finish off with that one. Maybelline, where are you? Where are you? Oh yeah, popping is gone. So next question that I'm gonna be answering is what is something that I've learned the hard way? Something that I've learned the hard way. That's a good question. I've learned to ask. Yeah, I've learned to ask. And trust me, it might seem like, okay, but trust me, I've learned to ask. Sometimes the decisions or things that feel so hard in your life are not as hard as you think. All you have to do is just to ask, and just asking question or asking for something could actually open a door or just change the trajectory of your life. So yeah, for me, I would say asking questions, because there are times when I would just be shut and mute and I need something, or I need to get out of a particular situation. And I think that maybe going into my shell and trying to figure it out would help me. Well, that sounds good, but sometimes just asking a very simple question that doesn't seem like it's a big deal. Let me give you an instance. For instance, you need to let me give you just the smallest, slightest instance. Maybe you need to go somewhere, and maybe you had like a job interview or something, and you're kind of shuffling between these two places. They are both important situations, but sometimes just asking a question like, okay, my friend, can you help me stand in for here while I go for the job interview, or can you help me do this, could just change everything. And then you don't have to shuffle and like try to be in three places at a certain time, right? So for them, I don't think that's the best analogy, but to me, that's that's what I can think of right now. But honestly, asking, what, ask, just ask. The highest that someone can say to you when you ask for something is no, but at least you tried, right? So I would say asking questions has been something that I'm taking more seriously, right? Okay, next question. Let's see. What motivates me when I am stuck? What motivates me when I am stuck? Hmm, honestly, just knowing that there is always a way out, regardless of how tough a situation is. There is always another way. I think that's what really helps me get stuck. So, if I'm to put it blatantly, I'll say hope, right? I would simply say hope. Hope motivates me. Knowing that I'm number one, not the first person to go through something, or I am I am just in a particular phase for a particular time. It helps me to get out of whatever situation I find myself. So hope, and actually most importantly, knowing that I have God actually. That is the number one, and then hope. Knowing that I have God that I can run to at any single time when I feel stuck is my biggest motivation. Then also hope, having hope that maybe a particular thing can always turn around. So my biggest motivation, guys. For some reason, I can't find my highlighter. Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? All right, it was right in front of me. Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? All right, next question. What values will I not compromise on? What values will I not compromise on? Let's see. There's so many. I think my faith. Yeah, my faith. I won't compromise on that one. Um, mm, Also, I would like to say my family. I mean, there in a way I can compromise. I don't know. It depends, right? But my faith is one thing I won't compromise on. Let me not complicate this. My faith. Number what? I don't even know what number this question is. When do I feel like myself the most? When I'm doing my craft, really. When I'm doing my craft, I feel myself the most. Or when I am doing something that I really, really am passionate about. It could be like dancing. It could be like baking. It could be like doing makeup. I feel the most about I feel the most myself when I'm doing something I'm super passionate about. Before I go on, I'm going to show you guys the concealer I'm using. This is the Maybelline Super Stay from in shade 42 from Maybelline. This is their active wear. So I'm going to be placing it here. So you don't have to put a ton of concealer, just a little bit is good. Okay. So I'm going to put some here too. And I'm going to put a little on the back of my hand just to help me with the blending. You never want to blend with like a dry beauty sponge or a brush, whatever tool you're using. You always want to go back and pick the product. So I'm going to let this just sit a little bit and dry a little. Why? This helps the product to form like a full coverage on your face. Just letting it dry out a little bit will really help the coverage, especially if you're using like a product that is not full coverage. This is a good hack for you. Um, what fictional world will I live in for a week? Fictional world I would live in. That's a tough one. Maybe cartoon world. I love a lot of cartoons, so maybe cartoon world. Well, what cartoon? Let's see. What cartoon? I don't know, Tom and Jerry. Well, just I love cartoons, so cartoon is a fictional world that I would love to be stuck in. Let's see. If I had a free year with no responsibilities, what would I do? Wow, that would be tough for me because I'm someone who loves to be on the go. So without responsibility, I think I'll still face my craft. I think I'll still bake, I will still dance, I will still do makeup. So I'll face my craft. Ooh, oh, to be honest, a vacation. A vacation, yeah. Long overdue. Vacation would be good. Okay. What song can I listen to on repeat? Oh, okay. Um, what song can I listen to on repeat? Jesus, I Love You. That's the one. Um, let's see. What's a random fact about me that most people do not know? A random fact. Uh, oh yeah, that people do not know. Now it depends. Is it like, oh God, this is a very hard one. A random fact. Uh, I don't know, guys. I'll come back to that one. I can't think of a random fact right now. Wow, that is. Hi, Ella Garlo. How are you? For some reason, I can't think of a random fact that people do not know about me. Random fact. Why is that so hard? Guys, trust me, it's when you have to answer questions like this that you're trying to remember as much as possible. Yeah, guys, I'll come back to that one. Sweet or salty snack? Definitely sweet. I'm a sweet tooth. I will definitely do sweet. For the record, guys, I was so shocked when I came to Canada and I went to the cinema for the first time. Guys, I was shook because I took popcorn and it was so salty. And I was like, oh my God, why is it so salty? I couldn't understand it. Apparently, there is no in between in Canada. It's either it's too salty or it's too sugary. So, it's like crazy. Where I would always go for like a sweet snack opposed to like a salty snack. Nah. And if I have to have like a very salty snack, I'll have like a sweet one by the side just to help me deal with all the sugar. So I'm definitely a sweet tooth. I don't be doing all the salty things. I don't even know how people do that, guys. It's crazy. But we all have different tastes, right? At the end of the day. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So I like to look up to blend this. This just helps me to keep it from creasing. And I blend this last so that I can set it immediately. But I'm going to be going in with that NARS just to try it out. So 1 second, guys. This is the blend. Ella Garlo, how are you? Are you here for the first time? Is this your first time on my live? Okay. Like I said, this is the NARS tester kit. So I'm going to be trying, this one is so little, so I'm going to be trying a little bit from there. And because the product is not much, I'm going to be focusing under my eyes with that one. So this shade is the caramel. So, okay, it's enough to go here and here. Guys, this is definitely a tester. It's like so little. I don't know what I was expecting. But yeah. So I like to use a spray to help me like in the blending process. So whether you're using a brush or you're using a blender, spraying can help you, especially if you're working with a very thick formula. So I like to blend. I like to blend this part first. So for one thing, I love the way this is. It's blending nicely into my skin. It blends really good. It's bright, but I like the brightness. It's good. This foundation feels like a very good cover. It has like a good coverage, which I like. So I'm going to use the brush to blend this. So you want to look up that you can really get in there. Wow, that's really good. For that little amount, that is a good amount of product. And it just went everywhere like that. Okay, I think I might be trying the NARS concealer. I have never tried it. Okay. Let's see. What is another question? What's a routine I secretly follow? A routine? Makeup routine? Okay, let me see. For my beauty routine, I stick to using I like to use a toner, moisturizer, and what else do I use? I like to use a lot of serums. So that is one tip for like my skin, my little skincare. So I like to use like from Snail Mucin to I'm using a new one now. What's the name of that brand? The Ordinary. I just started trying it, but for some reason I don't know. The niacinamide does not agree with my face. Or maybe that's just the product. It does sting a little, but then the hyaluronic is good. But the niacinamide, it stings me a lot. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I don't know. But aside that, I stick to a lot of Korean brands for my skincare, and so far they're working. So good, good, good. So this is the NARS, and I'm loving the coverage so far. A little does go a long way, so you don't need to put ton of product on your face, which is perfect. So I'm gonna go in with Merak Cosmetics, and I'm just setting with the brush before I go into a beauty blender. Or if you have a powder puff, you can do that as well. But you want to set carefully. Just take your time. And set properly so that it doesn't form like creases, because it will show if the crease forms. So set properly, take your time. It's better to take your time. And you can definitely switch to the powder puff or beauty blender when you're done with the brush. Or just use the powder puff if that works for you. All right, tapping this in, doing the same here. So notice how I didn't use like a cream contour. I'm going to be using the powder contour. All right, this is set and I love it. This is what I'm doing. And you want to press it on the back of your hand before you go in. And voila. And I'm doing the same here. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to be setting with my powder palette. This is from a brand called V Beauty. And I'm going to be using a brush to set this. I'm just picking this up. And I'm setting it here, like so. Remember to tap off the excess. You don't want excess products on your skin. So I'm using the powder contour. So I didn't bother using a cream contour just because I want to stick to the powder contour today, which works just fine, as you can see. And I'm doing the same here. So I like to blend it upwards into my blush. This just helps everything to come together as one happy family. So you can contour your jawline if you like, but I don't do that really. I just stick to the forehead and then the cheekbone. And when you're done, you can go ahead and set your blush. And I'm using the CPD blush palette to set my blush. All right, let's see. We have more questions to answer. Do I like background noise or total silence? To be honest, I actually love background noise. I love to listen to music, so I like to hear that in the background. I love to hear music in my background. But you know, we don't do that here because we don't own the music. Okay. So I'm using the pink shade here to set my blush. So I'm just gonna keep on setting it until I have it sitting properly. So this is what it's looking like. So if you notice that you overdid like your blush, you can go in with your contour brush and just diffuse it, and you're good. So a crucial step for me is to set the rest of my face after I've set my contour and highlight. And I like to use my powder palette. I just pick a shade that is my natural shade. And this is the powder palette of 12. So I'm going to set this. This is very important because there are some parts of the face that were not set. Remember, we set like the contour, the highlight, but then the rest of the face that does not have any of that is not set. So if you don't, you're going to have like oil shining through, especially if you're using like oil-based products. So do make sure you set properly. So I'm just setting. I'm going to go over this properly. And then, most importantly, we're going to spray. We're going to spray. So this is what it looks like when it's properly set. Then this other step is optional. It really just depends on you and what you want to do. So I'm going to do a reverse contour. If you haven't seen my video on a reverse contour, do make sure you check that out. I have it in my, my shorts. So I'm going to use this and I'll pick up a shade here blend it out, and then I'll do my reverse contour. And that is it. I'm going to do the same here. Make sure you start small so that when you make a mistake, you're able to fix it. So this is what it looks like. Done. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go on to the brows. And to do this, I like to grab a spoolie brush and a gel. You can use regular hair gel or you use a brow gel. My brow gel is frozen, so I have to use this one. So I like to brush my hairs upwards like so. Like this. Just to have them in a good position. You can do this. Okay. Now, another thing that is important is that you have to set your brows. So right after you do this, take your brush and set those brows. Set the brows, set the brows, set the brows. I'm taking my setting powder and I'm setting my brows. Remember to tap off the excess. This just helps with the oil or the shininess from the gel. And I like to use a pencil to do my brows, so I'm going to be using 2 shades of pencil this time. So another question is, what's your I need a reset activity? For me, it will be TV, watching TV, or actually learning something new. But yeah, learning something new sometimes just helps me reset. So, and I'm always learning something new, guys. So I'm using this pencil. This is from the Wet n Wild, and I'm going to use this to, excuse me, to get my brows done. So I like my pencils very sharp. This just helps me get a very defined brow. Okay. So it's already getting blonde. I'm just going to take a sharpener and sharpen it again. You want your pencil really sharpened throughout. This just helps you. So I'm just going to use the pointy side to get this done. And then I can adjust it in the front like so. I don't know, I like to make my brow hairs with the other one. Just following the pattern of the brows, really. And this is it. This is simply how I get it done. Feel free to go back in with your brush to get it done. I like to go back and forth with the brush just to adjust it, and then I'm going to go back and fill in any gaps that are there. I'm going to go in with the brush again just to fill in. All right, so these are done. I'm going to go ahead and do the side. Remember, you want to make sure that your pencils are really sharp to help you get the brows easy. Okay, now I'm going to sharpen this again. Guys, trust me, if you struggle with your brows, this tip about sharpening your pencils all the time will help you with the brows. So, okay. This is what we're looking like. And I'm filling this in with the other pencil. And that is it. That is basically how I get the brows done. I'm going to adjust this one. And I'm going back in with my brush. And this is what it looks like. Simple, easy. The next thing I want to do is to conceal them with a concealer brush. So I'm going to use that NARS foundation to conceal this. And I'm going in for the brow bone here. And I'm filling that part first. And I'm really just following the natural brow pattern. And then I like to have my dark foundation just close by. This really helps me with the edge. It's going to help me get like a very even and natural brow. All right. So keep it in the brow bone area, really. Okay. And now we can go in with the dark shade. And for the dark shade, I'm sticking to the end here. And here. And I'm blending it down. I'm going to do the same thing here. And here. And the brows are done. So I'm going to go in with a blending brush. And I like to blend the darker shade into the lighter one. And this just helps it look more natural. So the darker into the lighter shade. And when I am done, I'm going to set that brow. I'm going to set the under, whatever guys, I don't know what the name is. I'm going to set that part. The brow bone area. So this is what it's looking like. So the brows were super easy, right? Now let's get into the foundation. Now I'm going to be trying this e.l.f. I just got it. I'm really curious to see what this e.l.f. eyeshadow primer is going to be like. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to place it here. And here. This is an eyeshadow primer from the e.l.f. brand. This you can find in Walmart. And I'm going to use a brush to blend it. So eyeshadow primer is good in helping your eyeshadow to really last, and it also helps the pigments. It works very well in bringing out the pigments of the shadow color. So you need an eyeshadow primer in your makeup kit. And if you're not able to get a primer, no worries. You can use your concealer as an eyeshadow primer, and that works perfectly. All right. So the primer is done. I'm going to take a little bit of that powder, the setting powder, and I'm going to set just a little. And then we're going to go into the eyeshadow work. Let's see, guys. What do we have today? What do we have today for eyeshadow? Let's see. I don't know yet, but I'm curious. Okay. I think I want to transition with a brown, and then we'll see from there. For me, a good eyeshadow always starts with brown. I love brown. So I'm taking a brown shade here, and I'm going to use it here to transition. And I'm just placing it here, and then I'm working it into that. I'm so tempted to do like a winged liner with my eyeshadow. So I'm doing this here. Okay, we are doing a winged eyeshadow eyeliner. So I am starting by using a brown to do a wing here. And I already see that that primer is really helping to make that pronounced. So I love. So what I'm doing is building this up. I'm going to keep on building it up until I get the shade that I am looking for. So using an angled brush like this helps you with your winged liner. It could be a rounded brush, or it could be an actual angled brush. This is a rounded brush, so it helps me focus on that angle. So if you're someone who struggles with like a wing, this is the best option for you. And then the way you place your hand also matters. I like to hold my brush at the tip when I do a wing. This just helps. It helps in getting that wing. So I'm going to keep on building it up until I get what I am looking for. So I'm going to keep on pulling it in. So if you're a beginner with the wing liner, you can easily just put powder here to help you get it, or just do the liner and then use a concealer to clean it up. Okay, So I'm not going to stick to the regular wing liner like I would. I'm going to pivot a bit today. So I'm going to do this from a little something there with the brown. So I'm going to keep on building that. So this is why you have to work in like small sections or small portions, so that when you make a mistake, you can easily correct it. But if you just put a ton of product, you're gonna have a hard time fixing it if you make a mistake. So just gonna keep on building it here. I'm going to do the same here. Just connecting it to that liner. And I'm going to keep on going until I have okay. All right. I already have a good base, so I like that. Now for the outer, for the top, I'm gonna use, let's see, a peachy shade to work the top. This is just to help me diffuse that brown just a little bit. So I'm gonna search for a fluffy brush. So you want to use a fluffy brush when you're blending out. Fluffy brush, where are you? Fluffy brush, where are you? Fluffy brush. Guys, it is so hard to keep track of these brushes. They're like everywhere you go. So I'm just gonna grab a brush here. I need a little brush to help me do the stuff. Alright, so I've grabbed the fluffy brush. This is gonna help me with the fluffy brush is out. Okay. So I'm gonna pick the shade here. It's like a sand shade. Nope, wrong shade. So I'm gonna pick the cherry pop here. This one says cherry pop, so I'm gonna use that. I think it's light enough. And I'm gonna use it just for here. Just for a little pop of color. I'm going to do the same here. Remember to tap off the excess. Alright. I really like goats, hairy throats. They like to bleep. Alright. This is what it's looking like so far. And then I think I'm gonna go for like a classy champagne gold, just to add Ooh, guys, look at this shade. I'm gonna use this one that says Pixie Dust. Some pixie dust. And I'm gonna place it in here. And focus it just in there. And I don't think it's much of anything. So I'm gonna go in with the champagne as well. Just to give it a little more life. Alright, same thing, pick up the pixie, place it here, go in with the champagne. Voila. And you can feel free to stop here, but I'm gonna go in with a mascara. Now I'm using this pen here, and I'm just gonna take the brown shade, and I'm gonna use it like a liner here. Doing the same here. I mean, it's not really visible, so maybe that was unnecessary. Anyways, under I'm gonna go in with the brown. So I'm gonna pick up the brush and I'll pick that brown shade and I'm gonna use it under here. And I'll be blending it a little bit. I'm doing the same here. And if you want, you can go in with the orange or the peach shade just to add a little bit life. You want to add a little bit of life to the look, so you can go in with the peach shade and just place it under that brown. So I'm doing the same here. And that's pretty much it. Feel free to extend some of that champagne or the gold shade here. And you can go ahead and also use the brown liner and just line the waterline to further emphasize the brown. Okay. And there you have it. Now I'm gonna go in with my mascara. This one is the Colossal from Maybelline. And I'm going to be using it on each lash. I think today is the day that I will not be wearing any falsies, so I'm going to just stick to the lash. A natural lash, guys. So I like to go up. And this is what it looks like. So you want to be careful with the mascara so that you don't go in and have like the spider effect. Oh, I think that was good. That is good. So I'm doing the same for here. And I like to go on the top like this. And this just gets the lashes properly covered in that mascara. And obviously you don't want to forget the bottom lash. If you haven't been putting mascara on your bottom lash, trust me, you should. You should be doing so. So you should be doing so. Cha 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 da da da. Da 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 da. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be using the mascara for the bottom lash. But before you do that, you want to make sure that you've set your under eyes, because you're going to ruin the mascara if you go and set after applying your mascara. So this is what it look like. So for the bottom lash, it does take a little bit of time to keep working that mascara in for you to get a very nice coverage. So this is what it looks like. I'm going back in and doing the same here. Wow, that almost went south. Guys, this is, oh my god. Well, it happens sometimes. We can't do much about it. So if you stain your bottom lash when you're applying your mascara, you can let it dry and then use an empty mascara wand or spoolie brush like this, but it has to be clean, and then just scrape it off. It's gonna fall right off. So that is a good hack. This is done, and I'm going to go ahead and start pressing in the powder. So you want to do this by going into your powder. You can use your brush if you like, or stick to the beauty blender if that is your thing. Now you can actually go ahead and apply a little more blush if that is what you want. I am going to be doing that. Hello Richie, how are you? Welcome to my live. How are you today? So this is what it's looking like. It is 12:35 a.m. here. All right, now we're going to go and start blending this part in like so. This is the only way to get this done properly. That sweeping technique, throw it out, it's not doing as much anymore. You have to press the powder into your skin. So if you want it to really bake, then you have to let this sit. But I was not aiming for the bacon, so this is pretty good to me. This is done. I love it. Now let's go into the lip. So for the lipstick, I'm gonna be using my pen. And I like to take off just a little bit of gloss, or everything actually, before I do it. And I'm using this pen from a brand called Beauty by Rish Rish. This is a 4-in-1 pen, so I'm gonna be using this. Richie, where are you watching from? Cha cha ra. Oh, nice. What part of Canada though? Is it the same time as me, or you guys are ahead or behind? Oh, Toronto. Nice. So good morning to you. Good morning to you. Okay. So I like to line my lip just because I think that it suits my face. So I'm going to use my hand just to smooth it out. You can use a brush, but these days I just enjoy using my hand to do this. Okay. Now I got a nice shade from Walmart today and I want to try it out. The shade is missing. Oh no, I can't find it. Where are you? I was super excited to use that, guys. Wow. That is pretty embarrassing. I'm trying to avoid the gloss today because, all right, here it was. This is the NYX Lingerie. What shade is this? X Extended. X Extended. Oh, okay. That is the shade. It is LXXL 17. This is supposed to be like a matte lipstick, so I'm hoping there's not going to be like the classic matte that kind of dries your lips when they're cracked. So I'm going to place it. Oh boy. Kind of regret it. Okay, bye Richie. Thanks for being here. Okay. Okay, so I'm definitely going to go back and line my lip just because I feel like I should. I feel like I should line my lip again. So I'm just going to line here. And today I'm going to try not using gloss, guys. It's very hard, but let me see. Nope, I'm definitely using gloss. So this is what we're looking like. I actually like it now that I've lined the lip properly. So before I finish this up, so you can actually wear this as a matte, but we all know that I'm not gonna be doing that. So I'm looking for, so this gloss is from LA Colors. I think I want to use this one. This one has more shimmers, so I'm gonna be using this one. It does darken it a little. It has bits of shimmers in there, so I think this is like minimal gloss, so I'm not gonna push it any further. I'm gonna go back and line again. And I think that is it. So to finish off, I like to spray. I'm gonna start with the Mario Badescu. Mario is done. So the first spray just helps to break down the powders before the final spray. So it feels good to wear this shade. I like it because I'm always used to wearing like very light shades, but this is different. It's actually very different. I like it. So now that this is dry, I'm gonna go in with the final spray and that will be the end of this tutorial. So the last spray I like to use is the One Size, and I like to shake this just a little bit. So I'm just gonna let this sit. Now if you decide, you can go in with a highlighter or just leave it as is. But I like to spray and then I put my highlighter, or I put my highlighter and then spray depending on the shade of highlighter. So the shade I'm gonna be using is pink, just to give it a little bit of dazzle. So actually I like to use my eyeshadow palette to do this. Oh, but you can just let me breathe. I get to breathe. Please. So I'm just gonna place a little bit here. Okay. So this is the final piece. Like I said, for the highlighter, it really depends on you and if you want that or not. So I am done. Now for this part, I'm gonna go in with something that is more brown toned. And I like to use my eyeshadows to really get the shades that I want. So I'm using this one here. Tap off. Once again, it really just depends on you. And that is the makeup complete. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Thank you for watching my live. If you're here from the beginning to the end, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Do let me know in the comments what your favorite part of this tutorial was. Guys, this was a breath of fresh air. I enjoyed it absolutely. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Jenna. I am a makeup artist. On my live, I do makeup tutorials, and on the weekends, I do a trivia. You don't want to miss trivia nights. Trivia night is coming up tomorrow, guys, and it's always fun. It's always very lively. And I will see you on trivia night. So, hi Curtis, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to my live. So, trivia night is Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays. I do my live every day by 10 p.m. Toronto Canadian time or 10 p.m. EST. So, I will see you in trivia night, won't I? Have a wonderful night if you're in nighttime like me. Have a wonderful day if it's the morning, and I will see you again tomorrow. Remember to share, subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you again. Go read and get ready for trivia night. Brainstorm, learn, because trivia night is gonna be fun. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.